Time to get more of the fall chores done before things get really cold here. So I'm cleaning out the chicken coops, doing the larger one today, the one that has hens in it and a couple of roosters. The one that you can see close to it to the right there just has 5 roosters in it. That has to be cleaned out yet as well. But this video is for 2 purposes. I've had a number of people that wanted to see the chickens again, so you'll get a chance to see the chickens. This is about an hour and a half worth of work condensed into a couple of minutes here, I guess. And the other people that I want to show something to is those that have been asking me questions of how Angel gets along with the hens. Well, this will give you a good example. She really doesn't bother them at all. I was cautious the first few weeks that I had her and would ask her to sit and whatever when I was down around the hens and not to come close to them, but lately I just leave her alone. She doesn't bother them at all. At one point here I was in the chicken coop shoveling manure into the wheelbarrow, and I did hear a commotion with the hens, so I stuck my head out to see what had happened. She wasn't chasing them. She had gone down behind the chicken coop because the hens were in the trees. She has to know what they're doing. And she walked up on them when they were in the trees, and that startled them. But she just came back up out of there looking at me as if I didn't do it. Whatever their problem is, I didn't do anything to them. She's quite the dog. I think the world of her. Well, this rest of the video will be some harvesting and 1 or 2 more chores, I guess, that have to be done before fall. The last of the carrots pulled to get them bagged up, and I think I'll have room to keep them in the refrigerator. No matter what else I do, if I don't either freeze or can them, they seem to wither up on me, but they'll sealed in a plastic bag in the refrigerator, they'll last for a long time. The ones off to the right are from just the supermarket package of seeds, those mixed colors, and as you can see there was also white in with the mixed colors, but they didn't do is the sort of thing that whatever, I don't know what this variety is called, but whatever it was, I bought the seed and they're supposed to be white, and there's 2 or 3 inches at the top of every one of them that stuck out of the ground and is green. I don't know, safe to eat or not, I don't eat it. I cut it off down below the green. They're very tasty, I like them, they're a nice carrot, but I wouldn't buy a package of seeds or just the white ones, I guess. And the supermarket, just cheap seeds, I can't think what the company is, but you see them displayed in supermarkets everywhere in the spring, cheap packages of seed. First time I'd ever tried to grow carrots from them, but I'm very pleased with them, and they're very tasty. I don't know, they don't give you the names of any of the varieties, you just got all these various colors, but look at that one. Didn't have very many like that. I had one last night that was a lighter color yellow. It was enough for a meal, one carrot. Well, that is the carrots taken care of, anyway. I forgot to mention what I was going to say. Typical. Just in the bed with the colored carrots, the other bed, the white carrots, it was a deeper bed. Didn't seem to get the moles or voles or whatever they are, but if you can see the damage on those, I had a number of them that were damaged like that when I pulled them up. Perhaps if I'd have pulled them earlier, they wouldn't have been a problem, but I've just been pulling them as I needed them, and I don't know, not that many, maybe 10 or so like that, and I've thrown them away. Looks like I'll be eating carrots for a while, I guess, hopefully, if I don't spoil them all. Take them up to the house and wash them off a little better, and probably let them dry and put them in clean bags before I put them in the refrigerator. But something else that I forgot to say, last year, for the first time since I've been growing carrots, I had the carrot fly maggots. Destroyed most of my carrots last year. So this year I did one of those companion plantings. I planted onions and shallots and whatever with my carrots. I don't know if I would have had the carrot fly maggots or not if I hadn't done that, but I didn't have any problem with them at all. So I think in future I'll do the same thing. Plant a few onions or leeks or something like that that gives off that allium smell. It supposedly confuses the carrot fly and it doesn't find the carrots. Well, didn't have any carrot flies this year anyway, is all I know. Well, the forecast is for some below freezing temperatures starting right away soon, so thought it was time to get everything out of the cabin that's been in there curing. The squash and the beans. Bean pods have dried enough. I think I can probably shell those out this evening and then dry the beans. My miniature onions, I had a horrible luck with onions this year. There's only a few left there, but they're usable, but they're very small. And my garlic, which has all dried. I'm going to plant garlic next, but I've decided not to replant any of mine. I was saving out the larger heads to be planted, but I've never grown soft-neck garlic before, and I'm interested in trying it, so I bought 3 heads of soft-neck garlic. Each head is a different variety, and as I show me planting them there, I'll put the names up on the screen for you. But as I say, I've never grown it before. I'm quite sure that I'm right in saying that soft-neck garlic doesn't produce scapes. I think that's correct. Anyway, it's the kind that you can braid or plate, however you want to put it, into braids of garlic. Not that I'll do that, but you can't do that with hardneck because it has this hard stem that comes up through everything, so it does not braid well. Anyway, I'll get these stored in my basement and get them eaten up hopefully before they spoil. We'll plant some garlic next. Well, this is not a cabin video. I know there are a lot of people waiting for cabin videos. They're some of the favorite ones that I put out, I guess, and I enjoy making them. But this time of year it's been cold and damp for quite a while. There seems to be quite a bit of dampness in the cabin, so I thought on a mild day like today, if I lit the fire and got a good hot fire burning all day, that might go a long ways towards drying things out in there. We're looking forward to going to the cabin with Angel sometime in the not too distant future. Curious to see what she thinks of camping out overnight in the cabin with a wood fire. Well, this is what I did with some of that fresh manure out of the chicken coop. I still have to clean out the coop with the roosters. The other 2 beds that you just saw, I'm not sure what I'll grow in them next year, but they've got a couple of wheelbarrow loads on top of the fresh manure. And this one that we're looking at here is my asparagus bed, and it really likes chicken manure. Over the winter that will compost, and rainstorms in the spring and this fall, whatever, will leach the nutrients down into the soil. But I find that the asparagus really likes being mulched with manure, so hopefully that continues again this year. Well, this is the bed that I grew potatoes in this summer under shavings. Potatoes grew well, and the moles or voles, whatever, really enjoyed them. I didn't get much out of it. They were really damaged severely, so I'm hoping that they don't like garlic. The 3 varieties are just in this one row, and that's all I plan to plant this year. I'll name the 3 varieties in a minute when I show you pushing them down into the ground. But what I have done here is pulled back the shavings and added a layer of well-composted chicken manure, 3 or 4 or 5 inches, the whole length of it, and then took a garden fork and just twisted it as I went down the length of the row, sort of mixing it in with the soil to increase some of the fertility in the soil, I guess. Now I'm going to push them down. They're all sitting there spaced 5-6 inches apart and a pointy end up. I'll push them down and then pull the shavings back over them and hope for the best this winter.
Well, the 3 varieties, and I'll put them on the screen here so that you can see what they are, but California Select, which is also called Silver Skin, Red Talk, I don't know, T-O-C-H, how you pronounce that I'm not sure, and Inchilium Red. All 3, the heads were nice and large. I think the Red Talk and the Inchilium Red had the largest number of cloves per bulb, but they were lovely size, so hoping I get something like that come spring. All I'm going to do now is just push them down in the soil another 3 or 4 inches and cover them over. And then I would backfill with the shavings, just loosely. But that should provide some more insulation for them, and hopefully come spring they'll come up through the shavings. I know something that will come up. Make sure these name tags are visible. There will be more potatoes come up here. I've already, in just preparing this little area, I've taken out 3 or 4 small potatoes, so I'm sure there will be volunteer potatoes. Well, that shows you what I'm doing with my garlic, and I think this video is probably long enough now, so I will shut this down. Thank you very much for watching.